to the SmackDown podcast. We are your host, Kyle, and the returning Rob Rude.
Woohoo, you peaked, bro. Don't ever do that again.
We'll shoot it again. Hold on.
No, you're good. You're good. Just roll. You're good. It wasn't that bad. You're all right.
All right. Anyways, we're your one-stop shop for all your WWE main card reviews, recaps, pay-per-view predictions. This week, we're going to be covering Raw here in a moment. An actual good episode of Raw for you folks. But we are, once again, the SmackDown podcast. If you are listening to us in the audio realm, you probably found us on Podbean at smackdrawpod.podbean.com. We are also on Spotify. If you like looking at a long still shot, you can find us on YouTube. Just search for SmackDraw podcast. Yeah, podcast. You can find us on Twitter. I am at the Kai Tai Show, and you can find my colleague Rob at 2 words can't see me, and that's 2TWO and the letter C. Rob, how you been, dude? I feel like it's been forever.
It has been forever, man. I went a whole week without recording. It just feels like it's been like a month. It's crazy.
Jeez, it feels like it, right, man? You stuck me with Benji for a couple episodes.
Oh, Benji's good, though. He knows the stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. Speaking of which, grand announcement here at Calavera Comedy. That's right, Benji has joined the show. Him and I will be hosting a third show every week, recapping 205 Live and NXT. This is going to be more of his baby. I'm along for the ride. Like Rob, I don't really get to catch too many of the episodes, but Benji's an encyclopedia, folks. We couldn't turn this talent away. You guys wanted more content. We will develop it. Once again, welcome Benji to the show. Can't wait to hear from him. He should have a new episode up, I think, this Thursday, man. All right.
Speaking of NXT, I have to throw it out there. We went to the store earlier, and they had like solo cups, and they had blue solo cups. And I was like, why has nobody come out with a blue solo cup trying to face the Street Profits? Like, that's gold right there. Like, they got the red solo cups. Boom, I came out with my blue solo cup. Screw you guys.
Nice. nice.
The little random thoughts of life.
Yeah, how you been, Rob? We haven't spoken for about the last week outside of, here and there on Twitter. How you been?
I have been pretty good, I must say. I'm sitting here staring at some new swag on my desk. Like, my daughter, she conned her friend into giving me his NXT toy belt and a Finn Balor figure for my collection. Because, like, I got 3 belts up here and a bunch of figures, and it absolutely made my day. I'm sitting here staring at it.
Nice.
It's excellent. And
I did catch a picture, man. It looks
my
good.
My buddy did say, how are you going to take toys from a child? He breaks them. Like, he's like 9. And he breaks them. I walk in, and like he has got like a money in the bank for his figures, and like half of the briefcase is missing, and he doesn't know where it's at. Those are his toys. I'm not going to try to take his toys away, but they were offered to me, so I'm going to give them a better home. I just want to throw that out there for anybody thinking, don't take a kid's toys. He breaks his stuff, man.
Dude, I steal my kids' tech decks, man, all the time, bro.
Oh, man, I used to play with those hard. I used to be a hard skater. That was good times.
Oh, man, I love some tech decks now.
But, yes, other than that, I've been good. I can't complain. I wasn't around last week. You thought I was streaming some Destiny 2. I can stream Destiny 2 any day of the week. I was actually at a Coheed and Cambria show. Excuse me.
That's that band. They got like a high-pitched singer, right? The
yes,
guy's got a unique voice.
I'm not too big into them. Like I'm into them. They're good. Don't get me wrong. But speaking of Destiny, I met some friends playing Destiny. I won't get into it. I always do when I bring this up. But I met some friends playing Destiny in 2015, and we've been good friends since. We're all from different states, and we text each other every day. They quit playing Destiny, but we text each other in our group text message every single day, and we talk and we send each other birthday cards and whatever. And one of them comes to Michigan twice a year, and one is for work, and which we meet at Buffalo Wild Wings, and this was our 3rd year in a row. And then the other is when Coheed comes to town. So, and that's like his all-time favorite band. His gamer tag is even a Coheed gamer tag. So nice. We go Coheed together. So, like, I kind of
they've
have
been
to
around
go.
for a
Like,
while, too. I remember hearing them when I was like a teenager,
like,
man. So
if you've
been a
never
minute.
if you've never been to a Coheed show, the only way I can explain a Coheed show is family. Them guys are so down for each other. It's not even funny. Like, oh my god, like they'll be in the pit just talking about stories of when they seen Coheed in like 2004, and like they'll sing to each other and they'll hug each other while it's crazy. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, them people are so united, it's not even funny. This guy started singing to me and I didn't know the song and I felt bad because he had to move on. Like, oh, Coheed fans are amazing. They really, truly are. Like, if you have
That's
a chance to
awesome.
go to a Coheed show, even if you've never heard of them, go see it. Like, they are absolutely amazing. The show is just, it's spectacular. It really is.
This is good, man. No, absolutely. And you know what's good is you're right, man. People enjoy hearing other people that have strong bonds, like you and me, my friend, on the Smack Draw podcast. You and I got a good bond going over here, man, and that's why people enjoy hearing us. We got a good dynamic. But I will say, man, hopping back a little bit on trail here, glad to hear that you had a great time at the concert. Not gonna lie, a little jealous. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about Raw, man, and Raw finally can have some enthusiasm in my voice when we talk about Raw. We got a decent
Raw was
man.
good, man. Like, I'm optimistic. Like, even when Raw is bad, I'll say it was good. This time it was good, like, all around. Like,
it was fun. That was the way I liked it, man. It was fun, and
yes.
And people, I saw some griping, and no matter what, you're not going to please everybody. But it's like, it's a start, man. You know, because where do people with WWE product? Where do you think people enjoy themselves the most? I'll tell you, it's the house shows, because they don't take themselves overly serious. They do stuff outside the ordinary, and they overall just have a fun appeal. And that's kind of like what Raw reminded me of, a mix between a go-home show and a house show. And nothing is more evident than that, than our opening segment. We opened from LA with Elias in the ring. He reveals that he's been chosen to be the special guest referee at Stomping Grounds for the match between Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin? Yeah, Corbin. But before he can really get anything out, he's insulting the crowd a little bit. He goes to pull out his guitar. Before he can sing a tune, Seth Rollins destroys him with a steel chair.
I do want to bring it up. I swore to myself I would remember who posted this. I have a terrible memory. I say it every episode.
You got to take notes, man.
They're big guys, so they're not going to hear this. But if you happen to hear this, let me know that you're the one that said this, and I will give you a proper shout-out. Do you think the Elias promo was the scrapped frickin' Dean Ambrose promo?
I saw that today too on but I didn't see it from a person's tweet. I saw it from
it wasn't
news.
It was a news.
Yeah,
thing.
like a
somehow
dirt sheet.
It ended up in my Google Calendar somehow. My Google Calendar popped up, so I'm like, well, if they made it somehow into my Google Calendar, I gotta read it.
Unfortunately, I was one of the very few people that didn't actually listen to the interview on Chris Jericho's podcast.
You didn't listen to that podcast? You're crazy. You got to go back.
I just went by what all the dirt sheets were saying.
Go listen to
it. I've been a busy guy, man. I have been a busy guy.
Throw it on in the background.
I'm actually so busy. I'm currently, while we're shooting the podcast, actually letting my enrollments, like study hours, build up on these classes I'm taking on a separate window. I have my insurance classes running so I can get my hours high enough, man. I've been that busy, I'm actually working during the podcast.
I feel you.
But no. I did read. I read that. Yeah, Ambrose referenced some garbage promo that he turned down from Vince.
Literally talking about a pooper scooper, and like it doesn't. I could see that that's kind of reaching. But at the same
time,
Vince
is petty enough to do something like that too. Like, this guy's gonna turn it up. I'll get it on the air. Vince is not one to let someone beat him.
I understand. I gotta stop you. I understand you're busy. I really do. You know me. I'm a super busy guy. I'm always telling you that. Try to check out that podcast. It is very good. Oh, very good.
You know what? I might turn it on tonight. Like my favorite time to listen to podcasts is typically when I'm driving, but I've been doing a lot of schooling at home, so I haven't been on the road.
Right.
But I'll turn it on when I'm going to bed, and hopefully I won't pass out too quickly.
Right. It's definitely worth trying. It's good. It's a good one.
But yeah, so Seth lays Elias out, and before before he's even done with the chair shots, I was like, yeah, I see where this is going. I knew it right out the gate that Elias ain't going to be the special guest referee, and God help anybody who considers it at that point. And as we go throughout the show, we realize, yeah, well, actually, you know what? Just to be safe, I'm going to put it out there on the airways right now. I, Kyle, for the SmackDown podcast, am not going to be the special guest referee at Stomping Grounds. I'm just putting it out there right now. Not going to be the special guest referee. I appreciate having a spine that's intact. Okay, not the special referee, bro. Yes, but we as after the beatdown, we instantly transitioned to the first match of the night, and that was probably the most refreshing thing. We didn't get a 16-minute long promo. We get straight to the wrestling. The thing that we've been complaining about these last couple weeks. They revealed to us that we have a fatal 5-way elimination match between, if I can remember off the top of my head now, we've got Miz, Bobby Lashley, Cesaro, Ricochet, and Braun Strowman. And the match was a hell of a good one, but I was cracking up before the match even began because as every guy made their entrance, they all hit their finisher on the destroyed Elias in the ring just to send it home that this guy is not making it to Stomping Grounds. Oh, it was gorgeous. Miz came out, hit a skull-crushing finale. I think he was followed by Bobby Lashley, who nailed a spear. Cesaro comes out, gives Elias the swing. Ricochet comes out, hits a code breaker of all things, but they're calling it the double knees. And then Strowman finally comes out, gives the running power slam. Elias should have been stretching out that bitch. I'm just going to say that right now.
I loved it because, like you just said, one of the biggest complaints is they start with 20-minute promos. This time, they give us 2 for the price of 1. You don't start out with a 20-minute promo, and then who doesn't want to see Elias get funked? By 5 guys in a row. You. Come on, yes.
Yes. It was instantly started the show on a high note for me. Saw some people nitpicking, it didn't make sense. I don't care, man.
I don't care if it makes sense. Look, I want to see Elias getting dropped. I don't care how much sense
baby faces acting like heels. It's like, dude, what do we want our baby faces to have? Have an edge. That means every now and then a baby face can be a dick. It's just you don't hang out in dick territory for too long. You just go there for a moment every now and then. You come back. You have an edge. What the hell do you think got Becky Lynch so popular? You know what I mean? She threw the middle fingers up, man. But this match was good, Rob. God knows, actually, I really liked it. Cesaro, Jesus, how strong is Cesaro?
Man,
for real.
Ricochet went to give him a shoulder. He bounced off of him like a bouncy ball.
Dude, he gets like that. He got Braun Strowman in like a modified Samoan drop. And he held him up there too.
Was it kayfabe news that posted him freaking power slamming a whale?
The Gotch neutralizer on like a freaking blue whale or something. Yes, dude. It was so good. I love kayfabe. Was it kayfabe news?
I think that was them. Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god, man! Yeah, I love that Twitter. That's one of my favorite things, man. All the time. But yeah. So Cesaro got to start out strong. He was the first one eliminated, but not before he got to show like his impressive feats of strength. You mentioned it. Just Ricochet pinging off of Cesaro, and Cesaro, like I said, gets Strowman up on his shoulders in almost like a modified Samoan drop, which was just, oh my god, I couldn't believe it as I was looking at it, you know. But it was short-lived, man. I believe it was Strowman got a hold of him, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't put who, but in my notes he got manhandled and he got pinned out of nowhere. So yeah, it was probably Strowman because that's the only one that really.
Yeah, got the running power slam on him.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah. And then no, okay, I see it here in my notes. I updated it. He did not only did he get the running power slam on Cesaro, he did a running power slam to Bobby Lashley on top of Cesaro as well.
Oh, okay, yep. Now I remember.
He crushed him. So Cesaro was the first one out the ring, but it didn't matter, man. Cesaro arguably had some of the best highlights in the match in just the opening 2 minutes. Lashley was the second one eliminated by Strowman as well, using the same running power slam. But Lashley, at that point, pissed off, I guess, that he got eliminated so early, comes back in, hits the spear on Strowman as Strowman was trying to hit a third power slam onto The Miz. So that brings Cesaro back in. He gives Strowman the Gotch neutralizer. Holy. It's like it's one thing to see that Samoan drop, but then to see the Gotch neutralizer too. Jesus, dude.
This was a moment where my 9-year-old, actually, who I bring up a lot, which I'm sure you guys noticed by now, she asked me, who are you supposed to disqualify? She goes, Lashley's eliminated. Who are you supposed to disqualify? So this was an awesome father moment explaining the rules of fatal 4-ways and 5-ways, that there is no DQ, and it's okay.
Right.
And she goes, but that's not fair. I'm like, but that's the fun of it. Let Lashley beat them all up. Let's do this. Let's go. It was a great father moment. I love teaching my daughter the father moments. Like, she's learning so well. It's not even funny.
Oh man, yeah. We need to get some sound bites of her. You should have her do like
I want to interview her, man.
SmackDraw. Oh yeah, but I'm talking also get like a couple sound bites, like "Welcome to SmackDraw Podcast," or have her say something like, don't forget to like and subscribe, something like that, and then you can just kind of plug it into the channel during the intro. It'd be kind of cool, man. I wouldn't mind it. But yeah, so like I said, you had Lashley come back in, hit the spear, and then Cesaro comes back, hits the Gotch neutralizer on Strowman. At this point, he's pretty bewildered. Ricochet sees the opportunity, hits his, what is it, the 640?
540. I think it's the 540, right?
No, it's what's 360? It's not 362 times because that would be 720. It's 90 less than the 630. It's the 630, man.
I got 540 here. I need to learn my maths. Okay. And what's funny is my job involves math.
He hits 1 in 3/4 rotations. So every quarter is 90 degrees. So take 90 and times that by 7.
I'm going to take this moment to plug this unsure number finisher that we're talking about here and say, I'm glad to see that Cesaro was up and walking. Because he hit this unknown number finisher last week on Cesaro's knee.
Yeah, that's right. And it looked like he could have been hurt. That is true. I forgot about that.
He definitely bumped it. He definitely did something. It's good to see that it didn't knock him out of action, though.
Yeah, man. No, actually, yeah, I'm glad I'm having a flashback now. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it looks, thank goodness he's okay. Ricochet, though, hits that 630. Then all three men, Ricochet, Lashley, and Cesaro, climb on top of Strowman, because why the hell not, to get him pinned. This sends Strowman, into a frenzy. He throws Ricochet halfway out the ring onto Lashley and Cesaro. He comes out. He ends up destroying Lashley, I think shoulder blasting him on the ramp, and then sends Cesaro into the LED boards at the top of the ramp. Getting him out there, and then just like that, we have a match between Ricochet and The Miz. And I'll tell you one thing I was happy to see here. Miz redeemed himself, even though he didn't land it later in the match, but he hits that springboard that he fell last time he attempted. Because everyone ripped this dude apart. He attempts a springboard from the ring apron, and he fell last time. And everyone just ripped on him. He's a dad, that, he's too old for this stuff. And I was like, man, give the guy a break. Everyone makes a mistake.
Right.
I was happy he made up for it, So the match between The Miz and Ricochet kind of revolves around The Miz attacking Ricochet's legs. Miz ends up getting him in the figure 4. They roll back and forth. Ricochet reverses the pressure by rolling over, which this prompted me to think in tell me if you know of, Rob, or anyone listening, hit us up or in the comments. Has anyone ever tapped out to the figure 4 being reversed back on them?
That's a good question.
Not having, the figure 4 applied to them.
Right.
They get rolled over onto their stomach and the pressure's reversed. Has anyone actually tapped out there? Has Ric Flair or anybody else?
My question is, does that actually hurt?
In real life, no.
I've given so many figure 4s in my life, and the figure 4 hurts.
Yeah.
But the reversal, does it actually hurt? I've never actually done the reverse.
No, because the pressure's still going the same way. So I've watched I'm a pretty big fan of MMA. I don't really sport it too much on Twitter. I'm more of a wrestling fan, but I'm quite a large MMA fan as well. And the figure 4 is kind of like a modified knee bar. It's putting pressure on the knee and pushing it in an inverted angle. essentially pushing your knee in the opposite direction. Rolling over onto your stomach, your knee is still being pushed in the same direction.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where Ric Flair did it back in the 70s, and they just kept the kayfabe alive.
Big,
yeah, exactly.
Oh my God! Ah!
Yeah, exactly, man. God help the person that exposes that too.
Back when a simple body slam on a 600-pound man crumbled the world.
Yeah, man. Oh goodness. But
times
the
were
match
so simple.
Yeah, man. Back then it really was. Although back then it was a lot more violent because a lot more fans. I remember Puerto Rico was a very violent place to go. A lot more fans weren't. Not everybody believed wrestling was real, but a lot more people took it for real. And in watching your heels come in and trash your town and then beat up your hometown heroes, man, riots would break out, especially back in the the Freebird days. Oh boy, man, they could rile a crowd up, man. They could, especially their feud with the Von Erichs. Man, those crowds, whoo boy, they took wrestling seriously back then. Well, back to the match. You had eventually Ricochet gets out of the figure 4 attempt. Miz, like I said, he does get that springboard. Unfortunately, he gets it reversed into a code breaker. Ricochet hits the 630, wins. He is your number 1 contender for Samoa Joe's United States Championship match at Stomping Grounds. Joe comes in to jump Ricochet, but Ricochet fends him off. He stands tall with Ricochet's music playing at the end of the segment. It's a good match, Rob.
I want to say it disappointed me. I'm not mad. It is what it is. But I'm a big Miz fan. I've always liked the Miz. Again, I'm gonna bring it up from the outside looking in for years. One guy I've always liked was the Miz. Heel, babyface, whatever he was doing, I thought the Miz was awesome. Even when everybody hated him, I liked him. When he was on Miz TV with Samoa Joe and they started that little second of heat, right away I thought, oh my God, Miz is going to get a title shot, and this is the perfect way to start it. And then all of a sudden they're like, nope, here's Ricochet, and here's Cesaro, and here's 17 other guys out of nowhere that all of a sudden all deserve a title shot, so they're going to fight each other for a title shot. They should have they should have rolled with it and let the Miz get that heat and Miz get a title shot.
I can see that.
I don't complain about much. I really don't. I take it for what it is. But that right there, they got and a couple people on Twitter agreed with me that, oh my God, Miz is gonna get this shot. But then all of a sudden, there's 5 guys involved out of nowhere. You should have just not had that spot. That's the way I look at it. You should just not have that spot.
So I'm happy with it being Ricochet, and I'll tell you why. It's actually kind of for the opposite reason that you're going for. I don't want to see Miz hover around the U.S. title. I would like to see him wrap. Now, this is the fantasy book inside in me. I like to do, but I want to see him wrap up this feud with Shane that's still going on and off, and then set his sights back on the Intercontinental Championship. Because I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Miz is only about a 30-day reign with the IC belt from having the longest combined reign with the Intercontinental Championship in WWE history.
Really?
Out of anybody that was in the WWE lineage, so you're going back to WWF,
yes,
WWF, all the way back to when Pat Patterson originally created the IC title.
What was it, 77? It's funny, I looked that up earlier because somebody tweeted who was the Intercontinental Champion when you started watching wrestling. So, of course, I did Wikipedia hard. And here's my bad memory, and I don't even remember who it frickin' was.
So the Miz, the Miz, though, he gets that title again. All he's got to do is hold it for 1 month's time, and he will have held that belt in an accumulation of more time than anybody in history. Of course, the longest singular reign, I believe, is held by the Honky Tonk Man still.
He was so good with that belt.
For combined reigns, the Miz is about to have the longest out of anybody. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, and that's where I really want to see the Miz, them to just put him on that. Because WWE, if they like to do one thing, like anything, it's make history. So I'm waiting for that to be recognized, and I think they're probably saving it as a way to cap off his career or propel him into the next step. So either as like a retirement send off with that record, or use the record to help project him back towards the world title. So we'll see where it goes, you know.
Random thought. Speaking of Intercontinental Champions, did Razor Ramon ever win the world title?
I don't believe so.
That's garbage.
I think he's listed as one of the people, like one of the biggest WWE stars to never win the big belt. I really don't think he did. Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Razor Ramon was a man. Wow. Okay, back on track. That was a random thought.
No, you're good.
Obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that think Intercontinental title. They think of that man. He was so good with the belt. Next
segment is with Becky Lynch and your girl, Lacey Evans. Becky Lynch comes out, gives kind of now these girls, they don't really have the most creative promos. They're kind of coming out spinning their wheels, but I will say two things stuck out to me. So Becky Lynch comes out. They're both pretty much fighting each other because they don't think the other person represents the division that they should. But Becky Lynch finally holds to her word that if Lacey Evans comes within striking distance, something I was pissed off about the other week, Becky would attack her. And sure enough, that's what happened later. One thing that caught my ear is only Lacey Evans can make being a United States Marine sound like a heel thing to do. It's like
yes.
Like this woman admitted she served in the armed forces and yet still got booze. Like
I swear to God, I thought that. I'm like, how you gonna boo that?
You gotta boo the United States Marines, man. Oh my God, dude.
I do want to plug.
I'm coming around to Lacey, man. I'm coming around to it.
I'm a big fan of signs. I pay attention to signs. There was a sign.
The little girl dressed as her in the crowd
that said Becky Red Belt. You can't have Becky 2 belts no more. What do you use? You use Becky Red Belt. That's amazing. That's so creative.
Had to convert her.
I had to plug it. I'm like, oh my God, Becky Red Belt. It had a drawn picture. It was terribly drawn, but it was a drawn picture of the Raw title and everything.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
I love it. I like signs. I really do. I still can't decide what sign. Like, my daughter wants to make a Kofi Mania sign for SmackDown in August.
But help her out, dude.
I honestly think the other side's going to say Baron Corbin blocked me on Twitter with my ad.
Jeez.
That way, if it's on TV, somebody can be like, hey.
Speaking of the crowd participation, did you see the little girl in full Lacey cosplay?
No, I did not. Was there really?
Yeah, if you get a chance, like if you get while we're going over the segment, hop on Twitter and look up. It's during
the promo?
Yeah, well, they shot to her at some point during the promo. But yeah, if you hop on Twitter and you go to Lacey Evans' page, Lacey retweeted the image.
Oh, word, okay.
Yeah, but this girl is in full like sundress, got the white glove on, got her like little blonde hair all done up. She looks like an 8-year-old Lacey Evans.
That's excellent.
It was actually impressive to the level of commitment that she and her parents helped her achieve. That look, man, it was spot on, dude, spot on. But Other than what the girls said, like nothing new here. I did like that once again. We didn't get no drawn out, boring promo. Just as the promos was starting to go south, as Lacey Evans started to get through the ring apron, Becky Lynch held true to what she said she was going to do. She grabbed Lacey Evans, did a Bexploder, bam. Oh, and she stole her hat. Thought that was pretty dope.
Oh,
too.
my God. That's in my notes. That's one of the best things I've seen in wrestling history. It made me pop. I'm like, oh, my God.
I love the improv, man.
I am as Team Lacey as you can get. I have fallen in love with this character. I really have. And I hope she wins the belt Sunday. But, oh, my God, Becky Lynch stealing her hat was one of the best things I've ever seen. But I do want to plug that during this promo, Becky Lynch made a comment talking about you can sit up on that ramp and talk slow all you want. It's valid though. Like Lacey talks all super slow, and that's one of the things you don't think about until it gets called out. You're like, wait a second.
Yeah, because you have to walk a fine line when you attack someone's actual character, before you're like just burying them,
Right.
But that was good. It was done well.
Yes. I'm enjoying these two. I really am. Like I said, I am as Team Lacey as you can get. I do also have it in my notes that I think Becky is cooling off. That's just an opinion. For anybody out there, it's just an opinion. But
do you think that she's what?
She's cooling off. Like, she's not as hot as she was. She's not enjoyable as she was. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if that's her character. I don't know if it's because I've become a Lacey fan. I don't know. But no, I'm enjoying the two. I really am. I'm enjoying this feud. I'm enjoying it more than I was enjoying Becky versus Charlotte.
I think she's still got plenty of steam. I think there's a couple more wrestlers rising to the occasion right now, quietly. Like Seth Rollins, I like this turn with Seth Rollins just battering people left and right with a chair. that's really turning me on to that. And then our truth is white hot right now.
I was gonna leave it alone, but I will take a quick second to plug it. My daughter even asked me, like, I'm enjoying him beating everybody up with a chair. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But even my daughter looked at me. This comes from I want to interview my daughter so that some people can view it from the eyes of a child because the product's so bad. Blah blah blah. The reason I'm bringing this up is she looked at me and said, "So these people are supposed to be the ref for Sunday, but they can't because they get hit with a chair? It just doesn't make sense." Like, if my 9-year-old daughter asked me, like, it was in a tweet that, like, guys get hit with a chair, they get bloody and beat up with a chair, and then they're wrestling in 10 minutes. But, like, you get hit with a chair, you can't be the ref no more?
So that seemed like the common gripe was it just wrote people off. You get beat down with a chair, and then all of a sudden you can't be the ref. For whatever reason, you're not going to be the ref now. To me, it didn't really bug me, like, because I kind of. I don't want to sound bad, but you gotta kind of just fuck it, man. They're trying.
Yes, and you know me.
Trying.
If there's one guy on Twitter that has that state of mind, it's me. But when my 9-year-old's like, "Bro, what are they doing?" Then it's like, you're right. I mean, if my 9-year-old caught it, like.
I know. I caught it too.
I guess what I'm saying is, like, I say it all the time. I'm not one to try to complain. I guess my point is I wish it had more meaning. Like, yes, I want to see him beat everybody's asses with a chair. But, like, knock them out. Like, boom, like, they're in a wheelchair because you broke their ankle. Or not broke their ankle, but twisted their ankle. Or you gave them a concussion. That's why they can't be the ref. All right, awesome.
EC3 got a damn concussion. I promise you that.
He tweeted earlier that he dies a little every time he makes a stop.
Oh, man, did you see the chair hit him in the back of the head?
Yes.
The edge of that chair definitely hit the back of his head when he did that. Ooh, boy.
Yes.
Scary.
I was mad that he wasn't the ref. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
I thought he was about to be the ref. Give him, man.
Well, we'll get to those segments. They're still coming up. So after the Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans segment, we do see that the Revival have joined Shane and Drew McIntyre backstage in the VIP lounge, creating this new little Coca-Cola Light 4 Horsemen looking stable. I don't know. It was something. It's something that needs to go away, but it's something. Then Baron Corbin backstage announcing to be on the Kevin Owens show. I think to reveal obviously the new choice for special guest referee, just for him to get blasted with Seth Rollins again with the chair. Seth Rollins, it's kind of like the slasher flick, like he's just he's the Michael Myers or Jason, just popping up throughout the movie, man, just offing people left and right. Oh, it's wonderful.
I like the fact that he's got the same chair.
Yeah.
It just keeps using the same one. Oh my god,
it's so good. But after that, we roll right into the segment. Daniel Bryan comes out with Eric Rowan, cuts a promo how LA sucks, Raw sucks. LA is the smog capital of America because Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan are the Planet's champions. And then pretty much hypes up his match later on, the main event match between him and Seth Rollins, and that got me hyped right away. That was the first time I realized that Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins were the main event, and at that point I was like, yeah, Raw is trying. I was like, whatever. I was like, I see that you're trying, and I'm not giving you a pass, but the effort is showing that you're trying to do something this week, And then while they're still standing on the ramp, we get the Viking Raiders. They come out. They give a little stare down to the planet's champions as they make their way to the ring. Then we had the prestigious, the extraordinary, legendary tag team of Russ and Randy Taylor, who were already in the ring, and they looked like they were combined weight of like 180 pounds.
Are them guys a thing, or were they a one-timer?
Oh, local talent, man. Local talent.
Okay.
Just hyping up the
like
local talent.
when I seen them, I was like, I'm gonna ask him so hard if those guys are a thing or if they are just a one-timer local.
No, yeah, just some local enhancement talent. They the match was over in 30 seconds.
Yes.
Like that match didn't even go a minute. I didn't count it, but I'm telling you, that match wasn't even a minute long. I don't know what it accomplished. I guess it's just like hyping to watch main event because apparently that's where the Viking Raiders landed. They're over on main event where AOP has been too. Two of arguably the biggest, most monster-looking tag teams ever, like, or at least in the last decade, that can go in the ring, and you stuck these guys on a show that nobody watches. I haven't seen an episode of Main Event on purpose in the last probably 5 or 6 years.
I have.
The only time
Just
that
saying.
shit's come on my TV is when I let Hulu overrun. Like, why? Why are the Viking Raiders on freaking Main Event? Like, all right, I'm done.
Hey,
God dang it, man. It just makes me sad.
They had Nikki versus Peyton on there once. Just saying, I watched it.
Yeah.
I fast forwarded to that match. I didn't watch anything else.
That's right. You did say that. Yeah, a story will start it.
And
there.
that's actually what flipped Nikki into being not
Yeah.
so psychotic. Just saying. Sometimes there's some good stuff on Main Event, but yeah, for the most part, why you got them on there, bro? You got your NXT Tag Champs that you ruined overnight on Main Event.
Jesus. God knows,
But,
help
hey,
us all.
Maybe that stare down that we had with the People's Champ
Hopefully
and
it's
his
foreboding.
boyfriend, maybe that's a look into the
Boyfriend.
future. I don't know.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, because for the love of God, like, do something with these guys. These are some of the hottest performers on the planet, and you've relegated them to a show that probably makes up less than 2% of your total audience.
Oh, man.
God knows. R-Truth and Carmella are in disguise in the ring as Charlie Chaplin in like a red coat from like the Civil War days. Not the Civil War, excuse me, the Revolutionary War days. And I didn't notice it at first. Like R-Truth got by me as the red coat, but then I was like, Charlie Chaplin's a woman. And I was like, oh, that's Carmella. I was like, oh man, that's them in disguise. Okay. I just thought it had something to do with them being in LA, man.
I just want to throw it out there that if it was my choice, that would be our thumbnail. I thought that at the moment I seen that.
You like that?
I liked it a lot. I'm like, oh man, that's excellent.
Hell yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm glad you like that. So obviously once the audience realizes it's R-Truth, so does the entire mid card, who were just hanging out in Gorilla the whole time, waiting for R-Truth to pop up on TV. Because those guys got out there in a hurry.
They get full dress for 5 minutes, man. It's kind of
Goodness gracious. But R-Truth, really quick, the segment was actually very, very brief. R-Truth runs under the ring. The mid card get a hold of him, seemingly pull him out. It's Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil has been under the ring so many times since he had the mishap at the Saudi Arabia show last year at the Greatest Royal Rumble. They just love throwing him under the ring. But anyways, when they pull out, it's Titus O'Neil. R-Truth uses that moment to escape, and I think that was it for the Truth segment for the night. They kind of went a little light. They didn't play on the whole him being stuck in a crate for a week. Like, the guy looked clean. Had a shower. I think they explained it on WWE.com or something that like some stagehand let him out because, he probably would have died. But, they didn't touch on it though for me. I didn't realize it. I had to think like someone on Twitter explained it. Then the next segment. Oh, Rob, what'd you think of this? This was Botch Fest, right?
Wait, what are we talking about? Like, I ain't gonna lie. I started falling asleep here. I have no more notes.
Oh,
I'm not
okay,
even gonna
okay. So honestly, it's understandable if you fell asleep here because this whole segment was like botched.
I fell asleep. I didn't see the last match. I was going to bring that up when we got there. But
okay.
My notes ended at Viking Raiders, so I'm going to need some refreshers.
I'm
going to follow.
No worries. So, and then you can kind of just, I guess, give your take on this. Okay, then, and that's just how we'll play them up. So, we pan back to Shane McMahon's VIP room because remember he's in a VIP room, not like just hanging out backstage. He's got his own private VIP lounge, and Heath Slater enters there.
Okay.
Yeah, asking for a raise, or we assume that's what's going on because I guess Kevin Dunn couldn't get his stuff together, and there was no audio for Heath Slater. You could hear Shane. But you couldn't hear Heath. And just when they're kicking Heath's audio on, you have Michael Cole instructed to try and talk over him to relay what's going on because they're obviously in a panic. They're trying to perform, and we can't hear a damn thing.
Wait, I didn't even catch that. Like, I caught that there was no audio, but, like, they botched it? I didn't even notice. Like, I paid attention to the fact that there was no audio, and I thought it was on purpose. I'm like, wow, what are they talking about? They don't want us to hear it? Wow.
Yeah,
I'm going to go back and watch that.
Yeah, they botched the audio, and just when they're getting the audio situation straight, you have Michael Cole trying to relay to us the conversation that's taking place. But just as he starts conveying the conversation, Heath Slater's audio comes on, so Michael Cole starts to stutter, and he stops talking, trying to pick up Heath Slater, but then they try to correct it by muting Heath Slater again to let Michael Cole go forward. And so it's just a complete mess.
I wish I was awake.
30 seconds. Okay. Yeah, man. But eventually Heath does get like the one conveying line that
he wants more money. He got kids, man. He got kids. I got kids.
Yeah, my kids are getting older. I need a raise. Shane's like, first of all, I admire your balls. And second of all, no. But since you came to me like a man, I'll let you walk out like a man. And so he lets Heath Slater exit. Him and Drew exchange a weird look that doesn't quite make sense, and I'll explain why here in a second. Drew then follows Heath Slater out back. He references continuity. Once again, my favorite thing WWE ever does is when they address continuity. He says, Heath, you and I, we go way back, referencing three-man band. He's like, let me help you out. He starts pulling cash out of his pocket. Heath is trying to politely turn him down. He's like, no, man, you're good. Honestly, I couldn't take my eyes off Heath's flip phone. Heath had a flip phone. I thought that was the weirdest damn thing. I
didn't even notice.
Yeah. But anyways, Drew, as he pulls the money out, he drops it. Heath bends down to try and help him. Drew throws his head into the wall and then just beats Heath Slater down. Favorite point all of this, I believe it was Dash Wilder. No, not Wilder. Scott Dawson comes out as they're trying to break up and pull Drew McIntyre off of Heath. Scott Dawson pockets some of Drew's money that was dropped on the floor. It's just like a Bobby Heenan like comedic heel way. Oh, I appreciated that so well. But no, what didn't make sense was Shane is telling Drew, like, save it for Sunday, stop. But when they were in the other room, he gave Drew a look, what you would assume, like, hey, go beat him up, man, and it was weird. It's not a huge complaint, but it was just a little weird, okay? Why are you going to send someone to attack a guy and then break it up,
Why are you going to send someone to attack a guy that has nothing to do with anything that's going on?
Jesus.
That's what I got out of it. Like, when he said save it for Sunday, I was like, wait, is he fighting him Sunday? Is this fucking loser locker room guy getting a spot at a pay-per-view that I didn't know about?
I guess it's conserve your energy, I guess. You know what I mean? But,
Right.
But
I don't understand why. Heath Slater, is that the I got kids guy? Why him? That's what I got out of it. Why him? Like, maybe just trying to give him a little TV time? I have no idea.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Following that segment, we get the previously mentioned KO and Sami Zayn show. I like how KO immediately addresses. He's like, "I apologize, Sami. We haven't updated the graphics." And he yells at Dave in the production room. He's like, "Get it together, Dave, or something," to try and get his graphics updated. they introduce Baron Corbin. Corbin comes out. KO and Zayn say, due to the recent beatdowns that we've received and Seth Rollins is doing, Zayn has got to withdraw from being special referee, and KO being such a good best friend, in solidarity with his friend, withdraws from, potentially being special guest referee. So Corbin announces the next up-and-coming star, EC3. It was just, poor EC3, bro. Poor Ethan Carter III. Comes out. He eats a legit chair shot to the back of the head. Not even the proper way, too.
Yes.
Like the leg hits him in the head. It looked nasty, man. He's dead. And then at this point, I had a revelation about Rollins, man. And I don't know if WWE is doing it on purpose. And let me know if you get the reference and also if you get the impression. Do you think they're doing with Rollins what they did with Stone Cold when he went heel and Stone Cold became absolutely ruthless? Because Stone Cold did the same thing where he just gave the most ruthless chair beatdowns. The most famous one was he was delivering it to Matt Hardy in Canada. And Lita jumped on top of Matt to, try and protect him because Stone Cold wouldn't do it to a woman. And then he did it to her. Dude. He hit her like 10 times, dude.
That's great.
It got WWE, I think. God, correct me if I'm wrong, internet, but I think it got WWE either pulled from Canadian television for some time or outright not allowed to produce a show there. There was some repercussions for the violence against women that was portrayed on the show. But that's what this reminds me of, because Stone Cold was equally as ruthless with beatdowns with a chair. And Seth, you can see here, man, he's given everybody like 10 shots minimum, it seems, But yeah, that's what he did to EC3. EC3 didn't even get a chance to say anything like normal. He only made it to the top of the ramp. Seth killed him. And then just walked off, just like that. Just good luck to anybody else who wants to wear a striped shirt Sunday, But that was led into what I assumed would have been your favorite segment of the evening. We got Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's.
On the ramp, man. Oh my God, dude. This was so sad and funny at the same time.
It makes me sad, though, because I mentioned it earlier. I don't remember if we were recording or if
every time I make you laugh, I die.
Oh, that made me feel bad. I'm like, man, I laughed at you. And then you're going to tell me it made you die a little bit? I legit felt bad when I read that. But, I mean, we see the guy's not being used right and whatever. I try not to talk about that a lot. But, man, it seriously made me feel bad. Oh, okay. Back to the segment. Just saying. New Day comes out.
New Day comes out for no reason, at all.
None whatsoever. None, just to freaking pick up EC3 like he's Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh my God.
He did it so well though.
I'm sorry. I'm like pausing. It's due from exhaustion from both talking and then just feeling bad for EC3. But
that tweet made me feel bad.
God knows, man. You know what really made me feel bad was I saw Kofi Kingston in that belt and had already forgotten who his title match was against. Like, legitimately forgot until KO reminded us that it was Ziggler. And it was in a damn cage match of all things. I was like, dude, that is how uninterested I am in Dolph Ziggler.
Man, you said it. I was saving it for the SmackDown show. I am so over Dolph Ziggler. I'm so over it. And he is booked for how long?
Package him, man.
How long? He's booked like I have SmackDown in August, and my main event is advertised. Card subject to change. Don't get me wrong. I understand.
Right.
But my main event is advertised as Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. You have what's coming to your town? What the hell is it? What is it?
Another two? Oh, Clash of Champions in September here in North Carolina.
What's advertised as the main event? Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston for the world title. That's a month and a half after my SmackDown. Or
Yeah, let's
hack
just
'em
hope
up
that
or
that's a
something.
tool to avoid spoilers.
It very
you know what I
well
mean?
could be, but I mean,
I'm hoping so, man.
ah,
It wouldn't be the first time matches are spoiled, though. Like, outcomes of pay-per-view matches are spoiled.
yes,
Because the venue's got to advertise a reason to come, you
that's what
know?
I'm saying. And if you
Yeah.
change that card, you're gonna make some people mad. Like, and you don't really want to do that because, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like we're getting
well,
sidetracked here.
no, it's all good.
Oh man, I
The
don't like
weekend,
Dolph Ziggler. I don't like him. I don't like what he is.
save it for SmackDown, man. We'll save it for SmackDown, where he's at. Because luckily for us, he wasn't on Raw. Probably saved Raw a couple points this week.
You know what else saved Raw? Quick plug. No Lars. Just saying.
No Lars.
Just saying.
Yeah, it was kind of refreshing not to have him out there being Lars. Back to Weekend
He's
at Bernie's.
a freak. I said it.
The whole Weekend at Bernie's thing that we're referencing, for some of you younger viewers that may not get the reference, the New Day hoisted EC3's unconscious body up and used him like a puppet. They I think asked him if they wanted to see 3-on-3 tag match between the New Day against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Baron Corbin. In which case they made EC3 nod his head, like I said, while he's completely out in the most exaggerated way, by the way. And then they said if only they had a referee that could sanction the match. And so you had like Kofi Kingston coyly turn away from the camera and do a horrible impression of EC3 sanctioning the match. And then they cut away, and that's what the Weekend at Bernie's thing is. God help us, we're old. We're not too old, but we're older, you know, to remember that movie. And
Now, going in a little further,
yeah,
if you haven't seen Weekend at Bernie's, like you said, the younger crowd, if you don't know what Weekend at Bernie's is, long story short, these guys hoist around a dead guy for a weekend.
Yeah, man.
And that's the point of the movie.
It's pretty disturbing now by nowadays standards, you know? You couldn't get away with that nowadays.
Nope, they really couldn't.
Carrying around a dead body.
Now, I want to throw it out there that it disappointed me that they didn't Weekend at Bernie's him for the match. How awesome would that be? Boom, I'm getting the pin, and I got to grasp a ref's arm and go 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Jesus.
I was ready for
You're
it.
just disturbed. You're like, is he dead? Like, he hasn't moved. You know, he's just laid in the middle of the ring. Everyone has to wrestle around EC3. Like, they can't fall on him. You know? Oh, my God. Like Kofi's getting pinned, but he gets a leg on the rope, and so
And
like
somebody
Big E
grabs his head to look at the rope.
Yeah, just to look at the rope like a puppet. It's like rope break. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, we're going to hell.
Okay, move on.
Poor EC3. AJ's backstage getting checked out by a sports doctor. In come Gallows and Anderson rocking their doctor coats, referencing a couple segments they did back a year or two. AJ's unimpressed with their whole like doctor shtick because they're just trying to be friendly and funny. AJ's all serious with them like a dad, and he asks them, he's like, man, you know, you guys came on and you guys, you know, you were a dominant tag team for like 6 months and that was it. What have you done lately? He's like, better yet, when's the last time you won a match? Better yet, when's the last time you've been on Raw? You know, and in the optimist in me is thinking, oh man, he's trying to light a fire under these guys. And then I see online and I'm like, oh no, they're just burying them because they're not going to sign new contracts. And so they're just trying to make Anderson and Gallows look stupid, you know? But it did get me hyped for the match until the outcome of that match. But before we get there, Gallows and Anderson get lit up, you know, get a little serious. They say you wanna see us, you know, go back to that. Watch our match later on when we take on the Usos. So that sets up the Usos against Anderson and Gallows. What are they called now? They're not the Club no more, right? They're like the Good Brothers, I think.
I honestly have no idea.
You don't know?
You couldn't pay me $1 million to answer that question.
I think there's Good Brothers.
Now, I think you just kind of answered my question. I was going to ask you, are these Bullet Club guys?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
So,
somebody tweeted something about the Bullet Club or in doctor's outfits or something.
So
like that.
they came over. There was a mass talent raid a couple years ago. I think back in like 2016. WWE acquired a lot of New Japan talent. They got Gallows and Anderson, who at that time were part of Bullet Club, which was the hottest act in the world. Yes. Bullet Club was the hottest act, and they're having a big resurgence. You know, it's not like they went away. Right. But at the time, they were like at their peak.
Right.
They grabbed the Bullet Club, and then they grabbed AJ Styles, who had already been removed from Bullet Club. But he was former Bullet Club, and then they also
Styles
got
Bullet Club?
Shinsuke.
I didn't even know that. Shinsuke was Bullet Club?
No. Shinsuke was just part of New Japan.
Okay. But AJ
Gallows
Styles
and
was Bullet
Anderson
Club?
were current Bullet Club, and Styles at that point was former Bullet Club.
Wow,
Styles was beaten out of it by... Okay, so Finn Balor was the founding member of Bullet Club.
I do know that much, yes. I know
Finn Balor relinquished... I don't think he was beaten out of the club. I think he just left. AJ took over. AJ was then beaten down by Kenny Omega, who took over leader. And then Kenny and the Young Bucks, you know, obviously they created AEW and Elite, and they just walked away from the club.
I didn't know they were Bullet Club either. Wow, I'm learning a lot right
now. Yeah. Kenny and the Young Bucks were Bullet Club, but they kind of were running like a two-faction deal. They were both Bullet Club members and
kind of like NWO Wolfpack?
Yeah, but NWO Wolfpack was a separate entity. These guys were repping two factions simultaneously.
Word.
They were repping both Bullet Club and Elite on at the same exact time. So it wasn't like they were conflicting.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. So former Bullet Club. That's why they seem so chummy with AJ Styles. You know. Yeah. Back to the ring though. We are at the 2 out of 3 falls. 3-on-3 tag match between Corbin, Zayn, and KO versus the New Day. Right out the gate, you get within like the first minute or two, Woods scores the first fall for New Day. Roll up on Zayn, and then this prompted me to think: is are 2 out of 3 fall matches the only matches where you can get a pinfall victory in like the opening 3 minutes? You know, it seems like it's the only matches where like, you know, like that first fall comes pretty easy.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Yeah.
KO almost scores the first fall for his team, delivering a super kick to Big E. Ultimately, it becomes Big E gets isolated by the heels for a while, so he can eventually get the hot tag to Kofi. Kofi comes out, man, beats up Corbin for a while until Kofi gets distracted, eats a deep 6. Corbin attempts to put Kofi away, ends up hitting Sammy with a clothesline. KO obviously not liking this, opts to super kick Corbin. Both Sammy and KO abandoned Corbin at that time because
made me so happy.
They don't really have ties to him anyways.
It made me so
you know what
happy.
I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
Baron Corbin was left out to dry. It made me so happy. I want to throw it out there right now. If you like Baron Corbin, cool. I'm not criticizing you at all. None whatsoever. I can't stand Baron Corbin.
I won't attack you publicly.
I hate his character. I hate what he is. I hate what he represents. I understand that's what he was built to be. Blah, 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 blah. I can't stand his character. I don't want him on my television anymore. When I seen that they left him to hang out to dry, it made me so happy. Yes, pin this guy. Get him off my television. It made me so happy.
Get him out of here, man.
Get him away. People are like, well, he's a heel. He's supposed to get that heat. No, I don't hate him because he's a heel. I hate him because he is what he is. I don't like it.
Just bores you.
Yes, boring Corbin. I said that on Twitter the other day, and it made me laugh. I rarely actually laugh at my own tweets, but that one, I'm like, just saying.
I'm trying to think, like, what heel bored me back in the day. I think the heel that bored me that wasn't tied to like the McMahons. I hate to say it now because now I appreciate the guy so much. But back in the day, I did not get him. Was William Regal. Like when I was a kid, I just didn't get him, dude. Like I did. Him and Lance Storm. And now if you ask me, William Regal and Lance Storm, I love these guys.
Yes.
Like these guys are like awesome, dude. William Regal's got one of my favorite. I sent it to you. He's got one of my favorite promos of all time. But yeah, I imagine that's what Corbin's like for you. It just bores you.
He just bores me.
You know?
I hate when his music hits.
That's how I feel about Shane right now,
I
bro.
hate his ring attire.
Who would you rather have though? Who would you rather have on your TV? Baron Corbin or Shane McMahon?
Shane McMahon. Like that's.
God,
I don't even have to think about that one.
No.
At least
Corbin's a wrestler.
At least Shane McMahon has character. He has
he does. Oh,
he does
God.
high flying moves. He has.
Oh,
he comes.
no.
He comes out the gate. His music hits, and he's walking backwards, swinging his arms around. At least he's got energy. Baron Corbin is just. He walks out there and he's like, "I'm Baron Corbin."
Like a train though in the ring, man. He just builds up steam, man.
But I'm the guy that I look at character over wrestler, like.
Dude, even character.
I mean, look at me. Look at me. I'm a Lacey Evans mark right now. I want Lacey Evans to beat Becky Lynch. She's one
why
of the
did I
worst
even
wrestlers.
ask you for your opinion, dude?
Like she's one of the worst wrestlers, like actual technical wrestlers right now, and I will admit that. But I would definitely take Shane McMahon over Baron Corbin any day. Shane McMahon has character.
I wonder how long Shane's got on our TV.
Oh man!
I wonder how much longer we got to put up with his ass. Dude, I can't. Oh my God, no.
Do I bring the point up now or do I?
Nah, we'll wait. Wait. It doesn't have to do with SmackDown?
It has nothing to do with SmackDown whatsoever.
Oh, then okay.
It has to do with a future opinion that I read on Twitter. Again, I forget who I seen post it.
Well, we'll save it for our like general discussion after the show.
Okay, because it's a juicy one. It's a theory.
We'll get to it. Just don't lose it, man. We'll get to it.
I won't lose it because
does it like directly relate to like the match? Or
it has absolutely nothing to do with anything that's going on at all, none whatsoever.
Okay, we'll get to it at the end of the show then.
It has nothing to do with anything that is currently a thing at all, none. Well, it does, but yeah. I'll bring it up later.
Yeah, back to the abandoned Corbin. Kofi pretty much instantly hits him with Trouble in Paradise, picks up the win for his team. Clean sweep.
He got kicked in his face.
Yep. Then we get this made me laugh, man. Like this got like a legit laugh out of me. Backstage, Alexa Bliss gives Nikki Cross a gift, right? In a coffee mug. And when she pulls out the coffee mug, she gave her a scroll. And I don't know if it was explained why Bliss gifted Nikki a scroll.
She's a conceited bitch who feels that she gets to give people scrolls. And
when the hell has it ever been relevant to her character? She gave her a scroll, dude.
I feel what you're saying right now. I truly, really do. But
I don't hate it. It just caught me so off guard.
Yes, but like scrolls, like right away it hit me. That's kind of this is why we're so compatible. Alexa Bliss feels like she's a queen. She's a royalty, a goddess, and scrolls relate to goddesses and queens. It's there though. I caught it right away. I'm like, holy shit! She's like.
I was more confused. Like, where the hell she got it? Like, did she order it on Amazon, or she just take like
a
piece of paper and like just roll it up? You know, it was a damn scroll. But an invite.
Hey, somebody look it up. Scrollsonline.com. Is that a website?
It just revealed that Bliss had gotten her and Nikki Cross a women's tag team championship match for later on that evening. Which that got us excited. You and I both popped for that. Because we instantly were like, oh man, they're gonna win the tag belts.
Yes!
We were so wrong. Oh my god.
I'm jumping forward, but if it would have been a good match, I would have been okay with it.
Yeah, I'll let you take over that because I know you take on that match.
Oh man,
I'll let you take on that one. We cut out to the ring. Paul Heyman's there to remind us that Brock Lesnar exists. That was pretty much the end of that segment.
I'm digging that. Just for the record, I'm digging it. That's why they gave him the briefcase.
Kind of like what I did at the beginning of the episode. Heyman quickly went out of his way to announce publicly that he will not be the special guest referee while he sweats.
Seth, I'm not even a threat. Just saying, I'm not a threat to you.
Yes. Oh my God. Heyman then teases us hard, teases hard that it is hard to know when Brock will be present to cash in. And I think that's wise to play on the fact that we never really expect him. And I think the best way for Brock, I mean, I don't know, maybe not the best, but the first thing that pops in my head is if it was a random episode of SmackDown. Because think about it. You see Heyman by himself backstage. You see Heyman by himself in the ring. Your gut instinct, Brock's not here. You know what I mean? Heyman's out here as the mouthpiece. Brock's not here. They're going to put him on TV. So you couple that with SmackDown. Heyman's backstage by himself. Heyman's in the ring, cuts a promo, goes off stage. You don't even think about it. You probably tune Heyman out just because you know it's BS and Brock obviously can't be bothered to pop up at SmackDown. What happens? Seth's there, Kofi's there, whatever. He cashes in that night. Be the most off-the-wall, like off-guard cash-in. The only issue, though, is WWE likes to hype their stuff up to try and boost ratings, and this would fly so far under the radar, it would do nothing for their ratings, so probably never happen.
Yeah.
But that's how you catch them off guard. That or at a house show. You know what I mean? Hell no, Brock ain't never going to be at a house show. Hell no. Brock would have to be paid more money than that venue collects that whole night. Yeah.
Vince taking loss for a month is paying him for a house show.
Jesus Christ, dude. Corbin's backstage offers Eric Young a ref spot. It's nice to see Eric Young with a talking part. Says Eric wisely says he'll think about it. He gets like 10 foot down the hallway.
Boop.
There's Rollins. What does Rollins do, you all might ask?
You think about
well,
what
he
now?
says, don't worry, Eric. I know you wouldn't do that. And Eric's like, yeah, man, I wouldn't do it. I just said it to be nice. I'm not actually I'm turning it down. Rollins is like, cool, man. And then Rollins kills him with a chair. Hits him like 17 times. It's poor Eric Young. It buried so many people tonight with Rollins. And I loved it, though. You know, as sad as I am, I actually loved it. I loved it, dude. I love this version of Rollins. I love his blatant disregard. I think the only thing I would like more is if all these guys that he freaking beats down end up beating him down back. As much as I love Rollins, I'm not saying like I'm mad at him, but you got to have continuity.
Yes.
You make too many enemies, they can band together. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it'd be interesting, but that probably ain't going to happen. All these guys are just going to quietly hide, tuck their tails between their legs.
After the ref spot, it never happened.
Yeah. It'd be all behind like it never happened. You know what I mean? That's probably what will end up happening. Is he'll have a tag match with like freaking who's someone he beat down that he could tag with later. Not Eric Dunn. Probably EC3. He'll have a tag match with EC3 one day. Try and make it up to him. You know. Whatever. Get the Usos against Good Brothers up next. Did you catch this match?
Yes.
You did?
For the most part. I do remember it was a thing. I don't really remember what happened. I'll be honest. But
Carl Anderson blew it, man. He came out there. He was strong, dude. They were doing really good. The guy would have done right out the gate. Carl Anderson has some really strong offense, and then he uncharacteristically botched that. It takes time to showboat. Too sweet Gallows, in which case Gallows, like, I forget. I don't know what happens to Anderson. I think it's hit off the ring apron, and then Gallows instantly eats a super kick from, I think, Jimmy Uso, then a double super kick, and match is over like that before it ever began. You know, freaking. That was the point where I was like, yeah, it's not to try and give a resurgence to these guys who are unhappy with the way they're being booked. It's to punish them for not signing a new contract, you know, because you're mishandling them so bad. That's the stupid thing, man. You mishandle people to the point where they don't want to work for you. Because if you work in any job, man, and they treat you like crap, you're going to want to leave. You announce you want to leave. And they say, oh, we don't want you to go, so you please stay longer. And you're like, no, you've been treating me like crap. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to treat you like crap even more then.
Right.
You know, it's such bad business. You're gonna ostracize all this talent because how many people have left WWE and then came back later? You know what I mean? They came back. They got either a second chance from WWE, or they created. They got more momentum, and they come back and they got more to give, and they give it back to this company. That's not going to be a thing anymore. That's not.
There's better alternatives nowadays.
It used to be the wrestler burnt the bridge with WWE, but now it's going to be WWE is burning the bridge with the wrestlers, man. And nobody's going to go 5 years from now at this rate. No one's going to work for WWE, assuming New Japan keeps its momentum. AEW, say they get halfway decent momentum. You know, no one's going to want to work for them, dude. Oh my God, it's so.
But it's such good shit. It's such good shit.
It's good shit. It's good shit. Yeah, I know. I've drank too much coffee. It's bad for my heart. Roman comes out to the ring, calls out Shane. Shane addresses him over the Titantron. Shane has the Revival in the background. Hype man. I thought that was pretty cool. He's just like. Shane says some quip, and you hear like Dawson, like, yeah, just in the back, dude. Eventually turns it over to Drew, who gets to start talking on the Tron. And then this is where they did right by Roman. If you haven't seen this, Rob, this is where everyone was like, that's how you book Roman. Instead of sitting there and getting insulted and lambasted.
This is where he went into the room and beat them all up, isn't it?
Yeah, he went to the room. On his way to the VIP lounge, he quickly dismantles both members of Revival. He gets in the lounge. Drew works as like the bodyguard. Drew gets put through the catering table, and then eventually Roman chases Shane out towards the ring. He ends up leaping over the barricade to clothesline Shane, get Shane in the ring. Superman punch, spear. It's about damn time you book this guy right, you know? You can book Roman strong and make him look like a badass. This was how you did it, dude. That's how you do it. Felt so damn good to see Shane just get the piss kicked out of him. Dude, oh my God. I'm so over Shane, bro. I'm so over Shane McMahon. I used to love this guy. Dude, you could not take this dude off my TV fast enough, man. Oh my God. I'm so over him, dude. And I was so happy to see this, right? At this point, I'm gleaming, man. I've had an awesome time, and I realized, damn, Raw has put on a consistent, good 2 hours of programming. I was like, we got another hour to go. I'm a little tired, but I'm gonna stick around, you know, partially because I have to. Right. But I'd like to say I stuck around because they earned it because they kind of did. Yep. They really did.
We're here, y'all. That's why I didn't turn the TV off and go to bed. That's why, I was listening off on the couch. Just saying.
Yeah, I could have easily followed up with CBS Sports and just plagiarized his notes, you know. But this is you, man. Well, first, before we get to the match, we get advertised. The Iconics are going to be up next to have their first, I believe their first title defense. Could be wrong, but it feels like their first.
I think it was.
Yeah, feels like it is. Against Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Before that, we pan backstage. Bayley is back there with Naomi and Natalya. I kind of got distracted, but from what I gathered from this, one of them showed something that allegedly Bayley said on the internet, and Bayley was like, nah, this has got Alexa Bliss all over it. I'm going to head to the ring and straighten this out. So I'm thinking, okay, Bliss is going to, or Bayley's going to expose Bliss during the match. Something to that extent, you know? But then we go, but she just heads to ringside and chills. Instead of like interrupting or anything, she just chills. And then we have the match. Bliss starting off strong against Billie Kay, looking good. Nikki gets tagged in and then is instantly just like isolated. But I liked that, you know, because the Iconics, man, they got to look like they can work as a tag team. And if you're going to be a good tag team, you got to know how to isolate one of your opponents, you know? You got to be able to tag in and out, do a good job. But shit, that was it.
Yeah.
Like, that was it, man. She got isolated.
I was, like, when Bayley went out to the ring, my first thing was, okay, they're finally defending the belts. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I absolutely love the Iconics. I love what they represent. Like, they could never, ever wrestle again and just do their, you gotta be joking me, the promos in the back room about being overhydrated, all that stuff. I absolutely love the Iconics. I'm slowly losing steam on them. Like, you haven't defended the belts, and it's not their fault. Right, it's the way they're being booked, blah, blah, blah. But I watch this stuff like it's real as I can. It makes it funner. They haven't defended the belts. The moment that Paige was like, we got the Kabuki Warriors, my heart dropped. I'm like, these are the girls that are going to take these tag titles from these, from my Iconics. And
definitely seems it.
Then they disappeared. And then the Iconics didn't have anybody to fight. They were fighting local talent jobbers, and like when they weren't fighting jobbers, they were taking pins, and you killed the value of the women's tag titles. Now, again, for those that don't know me, I absolutely love Nikki Cross. She's not an A-lister, but I don't care. She's my favorite. Currently my favorite is Lacey Evans, but that's just she's in the spotlight, whatever. But if I had to choose one of the two, it'd be Nikki Cross. So I thought, okay, you got Nikki Cross going for a tag title. She's with Alexa Bliss. They're fighting the Iconics. Boom. My 3 favorite women in the ring at one time, and the tag titles are on the line. I've been waiting for this. And then you have a squash. That's pretty much what it was. The match ends on a roll-up. What are you doing ending this match on a roll-up? Like
you could have at least done like a DQ finish or something, I mean, but yeah.
Yes, I was getting to that. Like, at first I was like, Bayley's gonna interfere and end this match on a DQ. That's stupid. And then Nikki Cross gets rolled up. Now, her being my favorite is irrelevant. Like, if the Iconics would have won, but it would have been an actual match, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, they defended, and they like you said, worked in unity. They were a tag team, but it was a squash match. There was nothing to it. You went in a roll-up. I would have rather had Bayley come out there and give somebody a women's right. Like,
you mean
I lost you. No. Check.
Hey, I'm right here, man.
Okay, there we go. You cut out. But yeah, like, oh man. Like, it seems like I have my little petty complaints here and there. Again, I keep saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it. I try to be the positive guy. I take wrestling for what it is. But it seems my complaints are always when it comes to the Iconics and the women tag titles. What are you doing?
I mean,
what are you doing?
Me?
You got the WWE. Oh, what are you doing?
You don't yell at me, man.
You got your entire WWE universe hyped. Like, oh my God, they're finally going to defend the belts, and it's a boo-boo match. Fanhood aside, I don't care who was in the match. You had a boo-boo match. I mean, even Renee Young has been throwing shade. I've been meaning to say that for the last couple of shows, but I just haven't. She asked, where are the Kabuki Warriors? Like,
yeah. I mean, I wanted to know.
And then you have the Iconics coming out and saying the longest reigning and defending. No, you're not. That's the problem. Like, even I'm saying, no, you're not. You're a problem. There's a problem. Like,
right.
Oh, man, it's bad. A roll-up. You're going to end the match on a roll-up. At least, like, if you're going to make it a squash, make them come up with a new finisher, like the Legion of Doom, a Doomsday device, or something.
Well, like I said, you could have had Bayley, and Alexa Bliss's squabble, distract Nikki enough to eat a finisher, but like it was almost a non-factor in the match. It's almost like even if there wasn't that little squabble, she got rolled up anyways. It was just weird, man. And we're nitpicking here. I think what it was is we've wanted to see these belts defended forever, and they finally agree to defend them, and it's a throwaway match here's what it is you used a championship match as fodder to fuel another championship match that you value more.
That's exactly what it is. Was.
Yeah, and that's what it is, and it's just overall. I mean, before we get like too high and mighty, but I mean, at the core of it, it's just disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the division. It's disrespectful to those belts. I'm not even so mad that it was Cross that lost. It's just the match was just poorly handled, man, and it was silly.
It really
man.
was. It really was. All in all, the only thing you can take from this match is they finally have a defense.
Yeah. Before we crap on it, man, this was a good show. This was probably the letdown of the night. This was probably the letdown
when we were talking about our intro, how Raw was finally good. I almost said, "Well, I have one gripe," but I waited till this moment.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was good, and I keep telling you guys, I don't like to shit on the product. I look at everything for what it is. I look at it like it's real, and it makes it more enjoyable to me. I have my daughter, and she helps me, and it makes it more enjoyable to me. But come on, what are you doing right now? You got your tag belts on the line. And it's not even just the women. Who are the Raw Tag Team Champions? I mean, now it's the Revival, but last week,
it is the Revival.
Could you have answered that question? Like,
oh, geez, if you actually hadn't said Revival, it would have taken me a minute anyway.
Right, like,
yeah,
like, and then you had the SmackDown Tag Champs, Rowan and Daniel Bryan. They were gone for a couple weeks.
I am leaning on, like, I am starting to lean on unifying. There's so many
unify it all. Unify it all.
Well, I don't know, like
Raw, all of it. I
don't know. You know what? I would meet it in the middle. I would unify the tag belts. I don't know if I want to have one world champion, because eventually it would just become the Roman show again.
I honestly this week just found out the Universal title was the Raw World Champion. I had no idea. I thought the Universal title was like an Intercontinental Champion or a U.S. Champion. I thought it was. I don't want to say a B-rate champion, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I know it was a World Championship.
It's
I didn't know that.
Champion. The WWE lineage belt, B belt, which is weird. It's the first time that's ever happened. Because it was the WWE belt was always the big belt, and then you had the big gold belt. The WCW lineage belt was the secondary world title, and that's how it was for the longest time. And then it's only when they did the brand split back in 2016, maybe 2015, something like that, when they did the brand split initially, they had Dean Ambrose was the champion. They did, I believe, like a triple threat match. Dean Ambrose was drafted to SmackDown, and whoever won the triple threat, because there were some Rock contenders in there too. Whoever won the triple threat, that's where the World Championship landed. So you were led to believe it was going to be a Raw superstar, because you're going to keep your number one belt on your number one show. So it was a huge swerve when Dean Ambrose retained and the WWE belt went over to SmackDown. It made SmackDown a huge deal at the time. It hyped up the show like, oh my God, they're going to get behind SmackDown. You know, that's going to be the A show. People were just getting buzz, you know. And then they revealed the Universal Championship. And Rob, do yourself a favor. If you haven't seen it, watch the reveal of the Universal Champion.
Again, this is another moment that I keep bringing up, on the outside looking in. Didn't everybody shit on the belt?
That's what I was saying. Watch the reveal. Just don't watch the WWE YouTube channel, because they'll probably heavily edit.
Right.
Watch someone else's. Yeah, watch someone else who recorded that junk. Because the crowd ate them alive, man. It was. It was not good.
That belt's sweet looking, man. Like, if I had to choose between that one and the world title,
dude,
the Universal title would win.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Honestly, I'm ready for a redesign altogether. I think it's the belt's kind of lazy with just the WWE logo.
It looks so sweet though. I'm looking at my toy version right now. It's sweet. I like it. I don't know. It's just me though. But yes, bringing back to the point of what started this sidetrack we got, I'm down for unification of everything. I'm down for the brand split ending. I'm down for all that stuff.
Well, no, I would like separate brands, but the champions to be the wild cards. That's where I was alluding to, is you unify the belts and only the champions, like you have two separate rosters, but only the champions bouncing back and forth between the shows. That's how I could see it done. I just don't know if I really would want one world champion. I know I wouldn't mind one tag champion, because they're really not doing anything with that. Right, and then we obviously only have one set of women's tag champions. But I don't know if I'd want to unify. I wouldn't mind U.S. and Intercontinental belts staying on their respected brands. But then again, I could see them getting unified as well. Because if they did unify them, it would be the Intercontinental belt. That's what would stick. And then that would elevate whoever holds that belt. That would elevate it by all means. Because it's your only other male singles title in circulation, you know. But then obviously, you know, what we left out is unify the women's titles too. I think they should do that too. Unify the tags, unify the women's, and I don't know. Leave the secondary belts and leave the world championship alone.
And if you're gonna unify, you gotta unify. You gotta do them all.
I know. You can't just pick and yeah. Well, anyways, let's get back to the show. After the match, Nikki and Bliss are backstage. They blame Bayley. This point gets Nikki all in on Bliss's side, says that she'll be in her corner at Stomping Grounds, wondering what type of factor she's going to play. I've already called it last week or the week beforehand. I think that's when their friendship expires. I think they're going to come to blows in that match one way or another.
Yes, I agree.
But then we have Firefly Funhouse. Boy, this was the most disturbing one for a couple reasons. Apparently, Bray Wyatt's a flat earther. You watched it, right?
Yes. And I swear to God, I knew you were going to bring that up. I swear to God, I was like, Kyle's going to say that.
Dude, it threw me off so bad.
He wasn't saying that. He was...
I'm not gonna lie, that one missed with me. I was like, oh man, don't make Bray a flat earther.
No. It was perfect. That was the perfect thing to bring up. He wasn't saying he's a flat earther. He was saying, you think the world's round? Don't think that bullshit just because your parents told you that. That's what he was saying.
I bet they told you that dinosaurs are extinct too.
Yes, exactly.
I was like, did fucking Vince write this? I was like, oh my God, this has Vince all over it, dude.
This is such good shit. It was such
I'm
good.
telling you.
Like, oh my God, it was so perfect. Like the flat Earth thing, it couldn't have been used more perfect. He wasn't saying I'm a flat earther. He's just saying don't believe it just because your fucking parents told you to. Find out for yourself.
Maybe
Think
Bray's
for yourself.
clever and he wants to mislead people. He knows the Earth's not flat, but he needs to misguide.
Yes, precisely.
That or he's just been hanging out with AJ Styles too much lately.
Are the dinosaurs extinct just because they told you they were?
Oh my God!
So
I bet your parents told you dinosaurs are extinct too. Oh my God!
So good.
Bray, obviously, I can't convey the tone, but this was a very, very disturbing episode of Firefly Funhouse.
So
like the opening, those opening lines were kind of funny, but that's where the jokes they were really quick throwaways because
it went dark.
We essentially the tone shifts on like a dime. It goes from Bray watering plants, using watering plants as a metaphor on how to expand your mind and use your imagination. But then it cuts away to him telling, I guess, the kids to join him. And then you see all his puppets. The rabbit is all taped up. You got Anna. Wait, what's the witch's name? It's because it's not Anna.
I don't remember.
Is it Abigail? I don't know. But you have
it's not Abigail.
It's not Abigail.
It's
Abatha, maybe. I don't know. Abby, maybe. I don't know. It's ties to Abigail. Something.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see Sabrina's puppet from Pokemon.
But so you have her. You have Buzzard. Then you got the Devil
pig.
Vince and the pig, and then we cut away and we get a mashup of the Muscle Man dance through several genres, just panning from genre to genre, hip hop, metal, old band timing, like oldies. It was so good. I want to hear every remix version. I wonder if they cut an entire track, or at least like a 1 to 2 minute track for all of those, because I want to hear them all, man. I want them to get. But then we get back and we got the Fiend, and the Fiend tells us to join us, man. I mean, I got to tell you right now, I feel for those Cultaholic boys, because I bet they're filing some cease and desist letters right now. But yeah, man, that was the Firefly Funhouse segment, and it was good, bro. I liked it, man. But at this point, tell me, what would you rather have? like a well-produced, like murder slasher, like monster movie starring Bray Wyatt as him in the Fiend, or do you just want the wrestler still? Because to me, this character is starting to transcend like wrestling, and I want to see them lean like R-rated in on this. I want to see him like hacking people up and starting cults and chasing promiscuous teens down. That's what I want to see, man.
I agree. Hack him, cult him, chase him down, play Jason, Friday the 13th, and then come to the ring.
They did it with Kane, man. They gave Kane that movie, See No Evil. I think sequel made Kane into like a serial killer, man. You could do that with Bray Wyatt's character. Mm-hmm. Holy cow, man! That is a legitimate, terrifying character. My son, dude, I forgot, like, he was in bed with me watching the show with me. And I even overheard him. He was like, "Scary, dad." And at that point, I was like, "Oh, son, don't worry, man. It's not real. It's all pretend. It's not real. It's silly." and then at least he's got a good ear. He listens. He's like, "Oh, it's silly." I was like, "Yeah, man, it's just silly." I was like, "Yeah, dude, this is not appropriate for children. This is the least. I don't know how this gets a PG rating with this right here. Oh my god."
I think they're slowly slipping. They're gonna drop the hammers.
They are, man. But the Firefly Funhouse set us up for our main event. Boy, what a main event we got, man. Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins. By the time I looked at the clock, they had a solid 15 minutes. The match gets going and is almost instantly stopped because Rowan gets involved, claw slams Rollins onto the ring apron from the outside, gets giving Rollins the DQ victory instantly. And at first, this scared me. I was like, "Oh man, don't tell me Daniel Bryan's injured," and they're just trying to get him out of the match or something, So I was actually concerned. I was looking too deep into it. But then we have everybody just come out and do this brawl for no damn reason. Like, are any of these people in feuds with Seth, Rowan, and Daniel Bryan? Because we got KO and Sami Zayn come out to attack Rollins. I understood that. Okay, I understood that. Or no, New Day came out first to defend Rollins, and that didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand why New Day was out there. But then Sami and Kevin, I was like, okay, cool, I get that. Then the Revival, for no reason, because I don't think they had anything to do with Seth. And then ultimately we got who was it? The Usos came out, and I was like, dude, everybody interfering, like they're not feuding with each other, and they're barely feuding with anyone that's even in the ring. So I had no idea. And if anybody can read into it, or even you, Rob, please fill me in, because that shit did not make sense to me. It seems like
I missed a lot. I was out. Like, I didn't see any.
Yeah, dude. Like everybody came out, man. Like, and just started brawling, dude. But eventually the refs, like a whole bunch of refs, come out, regain control, send everybody to the back. They ban everybody from ringside, and then the match is instantly restarted, just like that. Bam. And we get our one-on-one match from there on out. That was it. A couple big spots here. Daniel Bryan reversed an Enziguri into an ankle lock, a la Kurt Angle, how he would do that move a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. But transitioned the ankle lock, pulled Seth Rollins to him, and got him with a damn German. I was like, dude, Bryan is a freaking gem, dude.
He really is. He really is.
He then Seth rolls to the outside. Bryan hits a running knee off the apron, causing Seth to pretty much do a backflip right on the floor. It gets back into the ring. Bryan ends up on the top rope. Seth Rollins goes for his like superplex, followed up with the Falcon Arrow. He hits the superplex part, but then as he goes for the Falcon Arrow, Bryan reverses that into the yes lock, or the label lock, however you want to call it. Ends up, let's see here. Seth ends up getting to the ropes to get the move broken up on him. Rollins ends up catching Bryan's running knee and turns that into a buckle bomb. So we just got reversals after reversals, man. It was gnarly. And then Rollins goes for the frog splash. Once again, caught in the label lock. He ends up getting out of the label lock and nails the stomp to finish the night off with the victory. As he's celebrating, Corbin comes out, jumps him with the chair, throws him in the ring, hits him with an end of days. Raw goes off the air with Corbin holding the Universal title, setting us up for the match. Overall, though, the main event was awesome. It only had about 10 minutes after the whole chaos ensued, but they were hitting like pay-per-view spots. Like I said, those reversals were so fun to watch, especially the enziguri going into the ankle lock and then being pulled up into like a German suplex. Dude, that had me giddy. Like that was, even Kurt Angle probably was blushing watching that shit happen. Dude.
I did read it was a good
so
match.
Good. Yeah, man.
Like
it was
really out like
good.
a light. I didn't watch it, but I did read it was a good match.
Yeah, no, I know, man. You got 17 kids and you work like 80 hours a week,
Yes, sir.
So I understand.
I can stay awake recording with you because there's adrenaline going. I'm talking, but when I'm just sitting there, nope.
I've drank like 5 cups of coffee today, man. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna go to sleep. I've been crunching, dude. I'm crunching these courses, this damn health insurance courses. Oh my god, I still got probably about another 13, 14 hours to go in the next couple of days. I just tried to knock the bulk out of it today. But man, that was Raw. Raw was good. I liked it, man. We may have chewed up a couple parts. I mean, what they're doing with Gallows and Anderson, that sucks. What they're doing with the women's tag titles altogether, that sucks. But to only have like 2 gripes on a 3-hour Raw, that's a win for me. If you ask me, that's a win for the show. You know what I mean? And it was good, man. It was you can't really complain too much in my eyes. But yeah, Rob, do you? I didn't get any, man, because my Twitter is always dry. But did you get some questions that we wanted to answer?
I do have a few questions for us. I got a couple. I'm going to save some. I don't know how many we got.
For SmackDown?
We're going to save some for SmackDown. I do want to touch on that spot that I talked about earlier. We will make it quick because we are running on, I don't know how long we're going. We're over time again. That's how we
Luckily,
do.
SmackDown's an hour shorter, so we'll
okay.
burn SmackDown out. Go ahead.
I do not take credit for this idea. I read it on Twitter. I don't remember where I read it. It was in my – I read a lot of Twitter. I tweet a lot. You guys know that. The rumors of Shane McMahon taking the WWE title. Shane McMahon takes the title. Brock Lesnar cashes in on Shane and ends his career. Imagine that pop. I got goosebumps sitting on me right now. Yeah. Oh, who's Brock going to hit? Kofi, or is he going to hit Seth? He's going to hit neither. He's going to hold on to the freaking briefcase, and then Shane McMahon is going to beat Kofi Kingston and win the WWE title. Now, like you said earlier, we hate Shane McMahon. I hate Baron Corbin more. That's beside the point. As a whole, we hate Shane McMahon. What if they're doing it on purpose? What if they're overbooking him on purpose so that we are so sick of seeing him that when he wins the title, that's just it? Everybody's like, oh my God, I'm done with this company. I can't believe they did that. All of a sudden, Brock Lesnar's music hits. You don't hate Brock Lesnar as much because the guy you hate more just won the world title.
Oh, so what do you think they're – because you did cut out, but I think I pieced it together now. You thinking that they'll put the belt on Shane. He'll be –
for 5 minutes. He'll beat Kofi.
And then
Brock will cash in.
Lesnar will cash in on Shane.
Yes. Imagine the pop. I mean,
I imagine that's the only way you could get Lesnar to cash in and for people to cheer him.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And
I mean, it would be short-lived, though. It would be very short-lived. But in that moment, watching Shane getting destroyed by Brock Lesnar, yeah, I'd pop, man.
And then they end Shane McMahon. You don't see him no more because you can't come back after that.
You write him off TV. Brock's WWE champion, and then unfortunately from then on it's going to be the story is going to be getting it back on Roman. Roman takes it from Brock.
Valid.
I could see that.
But you,
I could see that,
you have to have Brock take it because, in my opinion, anyway, because you can't have him have the Money in the Bank and fail it. Like I don't see Brock Lesnar failing the Money in the Bank cash in.
God, man, the idea of Shane winning a world title.
Right. And then, dude, that happens. Oh, my God, this is a reality. Shane McMahon has the belt, but then, boom, Lesnar's music hits.
Lesnar, yeah.
Oh, my God.
The guttural feeling I get hearing that Shane get that belt, the guttural feeling is it reminds me of WCW when they were sinking. I'm not saying that that's what's going on with WWE, but those were the type of things that you saw when public opinion turned sour on WCW, and they were just spitting out controversial moment after controversial moment, and the crowd got fed up with it. That would be the most WCW in its demise looking booked angle WWE had probably pulled off to date. However, it probably would be quickly undone with Brock Lesnar, because then you're like, okay, here you thought about this. Brock destroys Shane. You get the belt on Brock, but then Shane's written off TV because he got his shit kicked in. And then Brock's your champion, and then you know, one or two throwaway feuds, and then you got Roman chasing it like you want. I could see that. I don't hate it, but I could see it.
Because, like I said, you're not gonna have, in my opinion, again, you're not gonna have Brock fail the cash in. That just you don't. I don't see Brock failing the cash in. I'd rather see him cash in on Shane than Roman and Kofi, or not Roman, Seth and Kofi together. I would love to see Brock cash in on Shane McMahon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I would too. They teased it back when Shane was originally announced as the general manager of SmackDown. They had this throwaway angle that they never touched back on. I can't remember exactly what it had to do, but Shane McMahon was in the ring with a couple other people, and they were addressing Brock. I think Brock had just lost the belt, and Brock was going on a tirade. Well, Brock F5 Shane, and everyone speculated it was going to build to like a WrestleMania match or something between the two. But it never went to anything. It was never again. Shane just ate an F5, and then they never brought it back up. Yeah, I could see it, man. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I mean, and it would be nice to see Shane just get his ass beat by like one of the biggest ass kickers there is. So, yeah, I mean, I could see it. This wasn't even in our list of questions. You read this somewhere. You must have.
Yes. It was a random tweet I read this morning, and it stuck with me. I'm like, oh my God, I would absolutely love it. Okay, but we are running on time, so we're gonna do a couple questions, and we got to answer these quick. I'm ready for bed. Ahead. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm ready for bed.
All right. Okay.
Wrestling news at WrestleNews_. Do you think AEW or WWE will be on top in 20 years?
Oh, so fast forward 20 years, who's on top?
Yes.
Shit, man, I don't know. That's 20 years from now. I mean, judging history, you'd say WWE.
Yes,
AEW ain't done nothing. That's a hard one to answer, Mr. Wrestling News.
Yes, sir. That's why I picked
You know what? I'm gonna go the other. I'm gonna say it's Lucha Underground. Screw it.
Ooh.
Lucha Underground has a crazy good couple seasons, and they come out and topple AEW.
I'm gonna pick Impact if we're going that route.
it's neither of them. Okay.
No, my answer will be WWE. I think WWE will never be dethroned ever.
I'll take the next one. Rob, can you clear this up? It's Bondicated asked us 2 questions. Question number 1, what is Kai wearing? Is he talking about literally what am I?
What are you wearing?
Y'all don't want to know what I do my podcast in, bro.
His draws, man. Let him do his podcast.
No, I'm playing. I'm actually, shoot, man. Shining Wizard. Give them a shout out at Shining Wizard, their podcast. I'm actually wearing the Elite American Nightmare shirt that they gifted me for winning the drawing in their Twitter contest.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm wearing my I'm wearing my shirt, man, that they gave me. My Cody Rhodes. Jesus, I don't know why that took so long to think of. Cody Rhodes shirt. And then the second part of his question was, would you like a rematch at next Saudi Arabia show? This is more, I think, directed at you, bud. To see Bret Hart redeem himself from when he tapped to HBK. I think he touched a nerve, Rob.
That's actually an excellent question because it makes sense. If they were to do that, they would do it at a Saudi show.
Oh my God, no, dude.
Okay,
Bret Hart
the answer is
walk.
no. The answer is no. I don't want to see Bret Hart redeem himself because I will make it a quick wrapped up package that Bret screwed Bret. Okay,
no,
Bret screwed Bret. He doesn't deserve redemption. He doesn't. Now, for those listening, if nobody knows, I posted a GIF of Earl Hebner ringing the bell at the Montreal Screwjob, and I said, "Do you guys remember when Bret Hart tapped out to his own sharpshooter?" I struck a nerve, guys. People were mad at me.
Well,
for the record,
look, man, you're probably striking a nerve telling these people right now.
For the record, I know Bret Hart did not tap out. I had people explain the Montreal Screwjob to me.
Rob, you got to own your shit, bro. Bret tapped. All right, he tapped. Own it, man.
It was there. It was microscopic.
Don't turn heel. And then backpedal. You go turn heel, you stay heel. Bret tapped. He's a pussy.
People people thought I was serious. I was at work, and I have random tweets in my head all day. I don't go off a lot of them, but this one I'm I'm gonna tweet this, and I did, and people got mad at me. Guys, I know he didn't tap out. I know what the screw job is. People explain the screw job to me, so.
Explain the scooch.
Yes, I actually had somebody said no, he wouldn't give up the belt, and they were scared he was gonna take it to WCW. So they did. I'm I know, that's why I did this. I'm joking. So
you are the reason why this joke is so funny. Oh man!
And I actually had an original animation of Sean starting the sharpshooter, and then Earl Hebner leaving the ring. But then I found the shorter version. I was no, there's less evidence of him not tapping. So
yeah.
I'm gonna use this.
So good. Now I would like to see the rematch, but it wouldn't be a wrestling match. They would have to play They would, in the middle of the ring, they both would be paid multi-million dollars to play charades. That's what they would do. They'd be the main event of a Saudi show. And you know what? Bret Hart and HBK playing charades in Saudi Arabia would still be more entertaining than that dumpster fire of Goldberg versus Undertaker.
I'm going to be super quick because we have to end it, but I had a coworker. Yeah. I actually meant to bring this up earlier. I had a coworker who is aware that I'm a big wrestling fan he comes up to me and goes, "What's this I hear about Undertaker wrestled again?" And I was yeah, he wrestled in Saudi Arabia. He goes, "What's this I hear about it being a dumpster fire?" Exact words. Yeah. I'm even you don't know about nothing. He was a cop. I forget where he said, but real quick, he was a cop before we did our job we do now.
Yeah.
And it was out of state. It wasn't in Michigan, but it was a spot at WWE that they needed cops in the ring. He's "Rob, I was in this ring." He's waiting for this guy to come out, and I had to arrest him. I'm that's one of the best things I've ever heard. Yes, he was in the ring. I forget where he said it was. I'm actually going to find out. Now I'm curious. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. He said he was a cop that arrested.
You can message me. It's not pertinent to the story, but that's awesome, man.
Yes. So, it's pretty sweet. But, yeah, he's I heard it was a dumpster fire. I'm man, you don't even know. It sparked a 20-minute conversation. He's aware of what's up with WWE right now. Every storyline that's going on, he is aware. Just saying.
So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and we'll try to avoid getting arrested by that cop for going too long on the show. Segue.
I think
we're going to close it out tonight. That is your episode for Raw. We'll see you on the next episode of the Smacked Raw podcast where we cover SmackDown. And then, of course, don't forget to join us on Thursday when we introduce Benji back to the fray when we cover 205 Live and NXT. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Team Southern Belle, y'all.